We gonna be completely. I want to be transparent. Counseling is real.
Oh, absolutely.
And it is very helpful, and you don't need to do it when you're about to get divorced. So
Right.
I think that
Yes.
also has helped us a lot grow as a couple because we had to have those conversations and we weren't able to have them in a calm manner without yelling.
Right.
So we went to a counselor who kind of like explained what I was saying when I'm yelling. Like, I'm upset because
Welcome back to another episode of the Beyond I Do podcast. Man, we had some special guests. And I know I say it about everybody. I just say special guests.
Well, we
But
attract wonderful people.
they were because this was the couple that we met through the podcasting pathways group.
Podcast pathways.
And you guys met.
We met. Yeah.
And they agreed to do it. We had the meet and greet. And they just had this wonderful story.
Yep.
And, you know, I'm a sucker for stories, so.
It was. They had a similar start to ours, but I think that, Jatoyia. Well, I know that Jatoyia had life together much better than we did at 23.
Yeah.
So it's another love story. It's another couple sharing their story and their marriage journey.
Rashadd and Jatoyia Amor. They actually met on Plenty of Fish. That's interesting.
Yep, it is. That's the second couple that
Oh,
we've
really?
interviewed. There was another couple we interviewed that met on Plenty of Fish.
Man, that's something else there.
Yep. They have been married for 9 years.
Yep, 9 years. Mm-hmm.
They're a blended family with 3 children.
Mm-hmm.
And we get to hear all about how they met.
Yep.
They
What
fell
brought
in
them
love
together and how they fell in love. And
their
I think it
marriage
was
journey
kind of
so
the
far.
same aspect. He was more into her.
Wow.
Kind of like that's how our dynamic was a little bit. With
I don't know. I was not interested in you. Just kidding. All right.
All right, we gonna take that on to let y'all hear this episode while me and her talk about this here.
Just kidding.
So here we go with Rashadd and Jatoyia.
Okay.
All right, so Rashadd and Jatoyia, tell us about yourselves.
Well, I'm Rashadd. I'm from Detroit. I've been in Georgia for about 10, 11 years. And I've met my wife here.
I'm Jatoyia Armour. I'm born and raised in Georgia. We've been married for 9 years, together for 10. Um, we have 3 babies, blended family, and I am a trainer and he's an HVAC.
All right.
So let's start before the two of you were together, and let's go back, thinking back to how you grew up, how you were raised. What were your ideas in terms of marriage? Did you want to get married? Did you think I'm gonna get married and have the 2.5 kids? What were your thoughts growing up when it came to marriage and relationships?
Well, for me, I'm a PK. So my dad was a preacher, born and raised in the Baptist setting. So we had that full unit mom and dad in the household, but it was turbulent. It wasn't functional. So for me, I knew I wanted to get married. I just knew I wanted to do it differently. I was looking for more of someone who was going to be like a partner that I could actually work with and come together on things and it not just being about the drama of a relationship. I needed something deeper than that. And I kind of felt like growing up, that's why I saw plenty of marriages. Like most of my aunties were married, but the marriages just seemed very superficial, and then they kind of got like stuck because they didn't want to get divorced. So it
Right.
was just kind of like, I don't want to get divorced, but I also don't want to feel stuck. So that
Right.
was kind of like my goal in looking for a husband, just finding someone that we could work together personally, professionally, family wise. And it was more of just I felt like I needed a partner more than a husband, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. I say all the time that my parents gave me an example of what I did not want. And I know a lot of people in those less than perfect situations, they get turned off by marriage. But
Yeah.
I wasn't turned off by it. I just knew that I wasn't going to do it the way that they had done it.
Yep.
Exactly.
What about you, Rashadd?
For me, on the other hand, I was raised by a single mom. We was a close knit family and everything like that. And for us, marriage wise, at first I didn't really want to get married. That wasn't my goal. I was being a little player and everything like that. But then, as I grow older, I looked at what my dad was. My dad, he was a Rolling Stone, pretty
Okay.
much.
Gotcha.
So I wanted to make sure when I grew up, I wanted to be different from him. So when I got in my 20s, that's when I became more of like, okay, I want to have kids, I want to have a wife. That was my goal.
Oh, that's awesome. And then you came down to Georgia and found one of them good peaches and you couldn't let it go. That's fantastic.
So how did y'all meet, and then at what moment after meeting did you all realize, like, okay, this is my person?
So when I moved down here in March, I was here for maybe a few weeks. Then I got on Plenty of Fish just to, see how the dating scene was and everything like that. Met one chick, she was kind of crazy. But then I've seen Toya on there. I sent her a message. We text back and forth. Then we went on a date, and pretty much the rest is history. Then we started getting really serious. Then, I was working at Kroger at the time. She was already in her career. She was a
Okay.
teacher already and everything. But she took me as I was and everything like that. And
Awesome.
when I knew she was the one, when she said she didn't see me where I was at now, she knew what I could be. It was a little bit of hard work and everything. So that's all it was. That's all it took. So I locked her
Yes.
down 4 months later.
Yes. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
For me, it was a little different because honestly, I was Atlanta, guys say a whole bunch of stuff. So he was saying it, and I was just like, okay, we'll see. Like, I wasn't necessarily absolutely not, but I needed more action and a little bit more history. And it was like, we got officially engaged at 4 months, but he asked me after like a month.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
So I'm just like, boy, like you just like you got butterflies in your eyes right now. Like you don't know what you're talking about. He just like, no, I'm serious. We're getting married. I'm like, okay. And my family and everything was like, why not? Like if you guys are, good together.
Oh wow.
And my whole thing is most of my relatives, they got engaged and married within a month. And that's what scared me. I was just like, nah, I need to make sure. Because
Okay,
clearly y'all don't know. Y'all didn't have enough time.
so that
to
was okay. So
decide.
because it's shocking that I would think it would be the opposite, that your family would say, y'all need more time or what have you.
Yeah.
But the fact
That was my family.
That was
okay,
Oh,
but
okay.
because your family, that's something that has happened. Because I would think that most people think that the time and effort put in, we even kind of disagree with that. I Most people think you need that long time to get to know
Well,
each
I
other.
mean, like, when I say time, I mean like at least 6 months to a year, to see the real them. I think people, within 2 months, it's like you hadn't seen them be able to manage money. You hadn't seen them really in the so I feel like you need to see somebody in the worst kind of a bad setting to see who they really are. But that's just
Yeah.
That's just you. I mean, we had been friends, but
yeah.
then we were young and dumb.
We were young and ambitious. How about that?
No, we
We were
wasn't.
ambitious.
We were just. But anywho,
We were what? I was 23. How old was I? How old am I now? 33? Yeah, I was 23 at the time.
okay. Well, I
So,
won't.
Okay.
Look, I
we
won't
were
say
you were
dumb.
young too.
That I was.
I just
Okay.
turned-
Oh, hey.
just got my birthday.
Yeah, he was 25, I was 23. So
I'm gonna tell
me,
you.
I felt like we were young.
You were. I was 23, but you had
I
a
was
career
22.
already.
Yeah, so for me, like I was very studious. So as soon as
Uh-huh.
I graduated, I went through college and then I had my oldest my junior year in college. So
Okay.
it was just kind of
So
like
you had a
we
reason to
buckling
do
down.
it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's
yeah.
why I was already, as soon as I graduated, I started teaching because I had a kid that I
Right.
was taking
Mm,
care of. So I
right.
think that also kind of fast forward things a little bit
Right.
because
Mhm.
we didn't want, I know I didn't want too many guys in and out around him.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of like I had like a time limit. I said he was 4 when you met him. I said if I didn't find out one by 5, it's just gonna be me
Right.
and him until he out the house. That's what I told myself.
Right. And so our mindset, even so he was 22, I was 23. Um, but our mind was not there. We tell people how our son was born on December 20th, and we went out
Yeah.
for New Year's.
Out for New Year's. Yeah.
So things
Bringing
like
the New
that.
Year's
So
at the
it took
club.
us a while to mature, and I'm thankful that we had a support system in place to help us kind
Yeah.
of, grow through those
hmm
things. So you mentioned a blended family. How many children do y'all have?
So I have a son,
I have a daughter.
and
We
then
have one together.
we have one together, and we done.
All right.
So now, Rashadd, do you have custody of your daughter
No, she's back home in Detroit with her
back home in
mom.
Detroit? Okay, okay. All right. So you
Well, it's
come.
shared custody because we get her in the
We get her every
summers.
Okay,
summer.
okay. That's great. So you come in, you meet this fabulous young lady, and she has a son.
Mhm.
And so, did that deter you in any way, or did it,
No, it didn't deter me any kind of way.
okay, that's good. That's good.
Just the fact
Oftentimes
that
we
I
hear a
didn't
lot
have a
of
father in
men.
my life.
Right.
I was
Yeah,
ready.
it's because oftentimes we hear men often be like, well, I mean, you already had a child, so you didn't have like much that you could say, but oftentimes we hear single men will be like, no, I don't want a woman with a kid already. So that's good.
So how was that?
I felt like that.
Look, I felt like
Just
that.
yeah,
Um,
just like if you
I
had a
tell him all
child
the
with me, I
time
ain't
his
messing with
saving grace is that his baby mama is in Detroit.
look, I
She was down the
said,
street, it might have been a whole different kind of scenario.
well, even so, I'm. I like to be the center of everything. So for me, I was like, if we're dating and your kid is sick and we have plans, I'm gonna look at you funny if you break your plans with me. But I'm also gonna look at you funny if you don't go check on your kid. So either way, I needed to stay away from that. But luckily we got together because I don't know if I would have had much of a chance of finding anyone these days. But so how has that adjustment been for the kids? Was it easier than you thought? Was it harder than you thought? Or is it still, I'm sure y'all are still going through growing pains as they get older and things.
Easier than I thought.
Mm-hmm.
They took on each other like they've been knowing each other forever.
That's beautiful.
That's
I do think it helps that they were young. So
Mhm.
Jameer, my oldest, was 4. His daughter was 2.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Y'all are all
they
they've
grew
known.
up together and
Yeah.
like they
That's
grew up
good.
calling mommy daddy, like both of
Mhm.
them.
That's
He
beautiful.
never had any stepdaddy or nothing like that. And I always say I have a daughter, and he always says he had a son. Like that was one thing that we both just instantly agreed on. Like we weren't going to force them to call us anything, but we were going to be mom and dad to them. And I felt like because we didn't make a big deal out of it and we raised them, they got in trouble, they got reprimanded by either one of us. There was no like, oh, your mama, your daddy, they knew we were a team. So I feel like naturally they just was like, this is mom and dad. And so now that they're teenagers, or one's a teenager, one's a preteen.
Ooh.
We haven't had the "you're not my dad" or "you're not my mommy" yet. We haven't heard
Kicking
that
the
yet,
dad.
but
Ooh, yeah.
it's fun. It's getting ready to get spicy. I can already tell. I'm like,
Yes.
it's getting
Just-
spicy. The attitudes is attituded.
17.
Yeah, 17. That's that
when
one.
I thought me or my daughter, one of us was going to take each other out. That's the only way we were going to make it to 18
Yeah.
with her. But thankfully, she had her moment and then she fell back into place. So, what things in terms of marriage, are there things that shocked y'all when you got together? Was the whole coming together as man and wife, was that an easy transition or was there struggles with that?
I think living together was the biggest
learning each other.
adjustment because he's messy.
Organized.
And after almost 10 years, it's still the same. He's still messy. And so it's like now I had to learn how to live around it and not get so upset at stuff on the ground because stuff gonna be on the ground. Like that one changes.
Right.
Yeah.
I went from like 2 years of me trying to change him, then like another 2 years of me just trying to learn how to get over it and not get so stressed out about it. But then we also had young ones who were naturally messy. So I was just like, okay, I'm over it. I'm just
I try to get better though. I try to get better.
He is doing a little bit better. He has like an app to remind him and stuff because that's the whole thing. I don't want to fuss, but he won't listen until I start fussing. I can say, hey, babe, can you do the dishes? Yeah, I'll do them. Hey, babe, I'm going to do them. Get in there, do the dishes. That's when he gets up and actually like does the dishes. And I'm like, but why do I have to do that for you to move? So we had to kind of come up with our own system. He has an app now that yells at him. And all I do is just send alerts through the app.
Yeah.
So it's not contentious, but
yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm glad that y'all said that because that's one thing that I see a lot online is especially with women. Why do I have to ask him to do this or why won't he do this? Or, I walk in the room and it's so dirty. And my thing is, for one, my idea of clean and his idea of clean are two different things.
Yeah.
And I have to understand that there's no right and wrong way. There's my way and there's his way. And so we have to learn how to compromise. And then, I've seen weaponized incompetence is the term that I've seen thrown around. And I'm like, you can't diagnose everybody with something.
Yeah.
Men and women were different. But if you're asking him to do something and he does it, he did it. You just have to ask him to do it. And I love that y'all found a way to be able to communicate those things that's still, it gets the job done, but it gets it done in a peaceful way.
Yeah. And Rashadd, your biggest, I will say this, that the biggest thing you need to focus on is not ever becoming that motherfucker. Okay?
Wow.
I'm sorry.
He's never been that bad.
I didn't see that coming. I'm sorry. I would have.
You know me by now.
Him down. I'm sorry.
I think for us, because like he knows once the house gets to a certain level, I get almost like depression because it's overwhelming and it's too much stimulus. So he could tell like
I rate her body language.
It's time to clean. Not just fix up. It's time to like actually clean. So he pays enough attention for it's not gotten to that yet, but he's doing better.
And I think too the fact that you communicate those things, that he's aware of those things, because a lot of times we get in like I'm going through the motions of my day, you're going through the motions of your day, and you miss those things.
Yeah, and
honestly, we're gonna be completely. I want to be transparent. Counseling is real.
Oh, absolutely.
And it is very helpful, and you don't need to do it when you're about to get divorced. So I think that also has helped us a lot grow as a couple because we had to have those conversations and we weren't able to have them in a calm manner without yelling. So
Right.
we went to a counselor who kind of like explained what I was saying when I'm yelling. Like, I'm upset because not necessarily because you didn't do it, but I'm upset because now that you didn't do it, I feel a
Right.
burden and a
Yeah.
pressure because my list is now bigger
Yes.
and longer. And me being able to say that, he's just like, okay, I got it. Like, this is, I'm helping you. It's not just you being nitpicky and want to clean.
Right, right.
Right.
Us
Right.
really sharing responsibilities and what that looks like. And me understanding that, like you said, when he cleans the kitchen, he gonna do the dishes, he gonna wipe the counters, he gonna take out the trash. Them pots and pans will still be in the, he does not do pots and pans. Like, kitchen clean, yeah, babe, go in there. The pots and pans are soaking, but that's about it. He'll put some water on soap in them.
Hey,
That's it. But he'll
that's
load
half the
that
battle right
dishwasher,
there.
empty out that trash. So then I know, like, if I'm telling him to do the kitchen, I understand that the pots and pans will still be there, and I'm gonna have to come in and do them when I can. But I
Right.
can't fuss over and get upset
Yeah.
because
Right.
he did what he could do.
But you know, and that's the beauty of compromise. It's like, you know, we both come from different backgrounds, different upbringings, and you're just learning how to coincide together. You know,
Mhm.
and some things, you know, sometimes you just gotta let some stuff slide. Sometimes you gotta, but sometimes you do have to put your foot down and say, look, you know, I know for us, I know I work shift work for my job, and I've done that for the last 20 plus years. So, you know, I have had days when I was off during the week and when the kids were in school and she was at work. So it's like I need to do something. So I started, you know, a cleaning routine that I would, you know, now when the kids are little, when they're small and they're, you know, toys out, I didn't worry about toys being on the floor because, you know, we just get that up if we're gonna have company. You know, because when we grew up in the 80s, we were cleaning up for company that I ain't never see. And I was like, I'm not finna, I'm not,
That's
I'm
what he
not
was just like.
finna
Don't nobody
develop
come over here. It's okay if we go a week or two. Like, no one's coming. And I'm just like,
I fell in love with baskets and bins
Yeah.
because you could just throw it in a nice, pretty wicker basket and sit it aside.
Yep. Yep.
I love that you brought up counseling or therapy because
Yes.
27 years and marriage podcast and book and coaching and we see our therapist on a monthly basis.
Yes. We do.
And like you said, it wasn't a point of divorce or anything like that. It was okay, we've got some areas where we can do better and we need someone to help us do better with those areas. So what point for the two of you was it like, okay, we need somebody, we need a third party to come in and help us with this?
COVID.
COVID.
We always say COVID. COVID put us through it, man.
Oh,
It was a lot.
COVID set
'Cause-
everybody down.
wow.
Yeah, because for us, he was considered an essential worker. So he was leaving the house. I wasn't. So I was working from home. And then the kids were here. So I was also teaching the kids from home and then cleaning
Right.
and then of course he does a very like physical job. So
Yeah.
when he comes home, he's tired. And I'm just like, I need a break. Like it was, and I had to be like mindful that, like, okay, he is tired. Like he's not BSing. He's tired,
Right.
but I'm tired too. Like it was it was a lot.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
And it's funny that period of time, definitely your circumstances determined how you made it through.
Yeah.
For me, for one, I am an introvert. So that in and of itself was lovely. He's an essential worker, and so his job didn't quit, so he was still going to work, and he needed that. He would have gone crazy.
I couldn't sit around all day.
But for me, oh, that was heaven. But I also, the only child that was here was our adult child. She was what, 19?
Yeah, 19.
19 at the time. So with me
if
and
it was just
her,
me and them kids that still went
right,
to school,
right,
I would have been like, pandemic, come on. But
right. She and
and
I
at
learned
that
some new
time, they
hobbies.
were like, what, pre-K?
Just
Yeah.
like,
So yeah.
One was pre-K and one was like third grade.
yeah.
So I was like teaching reading, like,
Oh, yeah,
you don't know what
yeah.
you mean what this letter sound like. Like, a
Yeah.
lot.
That
Mentally tired.
right.
And he didn't see
Um,
that though,
No.
because he's just
Right.
like, I've been lifting these
And you've been
systems
home all that, right?
up and down. This like I'm tired. I'm like, okay, congratulations. Me too though.
Oh, it was I reminisce about those times. I could order yarn and go pick it up and all the restaurants. But like I said, our perspective and what and who was at home made a big difference.
Yeah,
So
yeah, definitely.
this season, our theme for this season is divorce proofing your marriage. So you have therapy. What other things do you all do that you feel like helps you to divorce proof your marriage?
We never say the D word. We never say it. No matter how mad we get
Very
at each other, we never say it. It doesn't come out
Yeah.
of our,
Yeah.
because that's just inviting it in.
right.
Right.
He
Um,
never left the house. Go upstairs to another room, but
right.
he's never left the house. And I think we've done really well at keeping our marriage our marriage. That took a
Yes.
minute though. But the in-laws on both sides
Yeah.
had to learn that boundary. So I
Yes.
think that's helpful too, because when we are in a disagreement, it forces us to work together and really like talk it out and figure it out as a team
Mm.
instead of running off and talking mess about each other.
Right.
The
Yeah.
opposite
Yeah.
opposite families.
We came up with a different way of arguing. That if we going to yell at each other, we'll walk away. We'll text each other
Yeah.
how we feel,
We do
Uh-huh.
and we read it so that we know nobody's cutting nobody off. Then I see what she's saying. She see what I'm saying.
Yep.
Then we come back together.
Yeah.
Then to discuss what we have to talk about.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Yeah,
That's one of our
Different.
strategies. Margaret has a reckless mouth.
Yes.
So the text message
Look,
is
it
wonderful.
got to the point where we'd be having a discussion. We'd be in there for about an hour, and she done said about 5 or 6 different things, and I ain't figured out the first thing she said. So I just got to the point where look, I had to break out the notebook, paper, and start writing letters, and just look. This is how this made me feel, and then we come back and talk about it. So
And we
that's
both have
important.
ADHD, so we both interrupt each other. And we're trying to like get our point because we don't want to forget our
Get that
point.
thought out. Yep.
And so now we like battling, trying to get our point, and it was like nothing is really being said.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
see, we both have it, but I process very quickly. He processes slower. And so while I'm going, he's like he said, he's stuck at the first one trying to get that answer out. But between we started writing and then texting, that has helped
Yeah,
us
that definitely has.
tremendously.
Yeah.
And then you said you don't even say the D word. So when the kids were young, and this was when, goodness, I know we had at least 3. We may have had all 4. We decided that if anyone wanted to leave, they had to take the kids. Whoever brought up divorce
Yep.
would have to take custody of the kids.
Yep.
So,
I never said that, but I just said if it ever happens, you getting them. I will sit every other weekend.
I'm like, you getting full custody. If you decide you want to leave, you got to take them with you.
Yeah.
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 But and we say things like that, but I think that the fact that we can say things like that to each other, I think that says a lot about the relationship.
Yes.
We haven't had a reason to seriously consider it. So saying things like that, we probably said that because the kids were acting up at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was
And
more so that than anything.
my biggest thing has always been like, so I work in the industry, and I've witnessed how guys respond during a divorce. Like, I witnessed the guys, laying out of work, sleeping on the job because they're tired because they're chasing their mate around the town and stuff like that. So, it's just like witnessing stuff like that. I was just like, man, I can't go through all that, man. We gonna
Which
be all right.
See,
We gonna be all right.
when he says
especially
stuff like
now,
that,
I couldn't
see,
even imagine.
now you're
dating.
gonna co-sign it. So
I couldn't imagine it either.
and I get it, but he's supposed to say, I love her so much. There's no one else like her that I would
Right.
never go
You
anywhere.
right. You right. And on the flip side of that, I won't be sleeping in my car. I like my bed. Shoot, I don't be sleeping in no car. Sleeping on
I get
somebody's couch. You know what I'm
you.
saying? That ain't.
Now,
It's
a
like
few
the
years,
romance is there, like, you're gonna love them, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of pretty people that you can have
right,
romance with, but it's not
Yeah.
people you could have a partnership with. So it's
right.
Right.
like
Right. Yeah.
those are the things that gonna make me stay. His 401k. I'm just joking. We at that
Right.
mark where if something happens, I get the retirement fund. So
That's what I'm saying.
Look, that's what I told him too. That's a lot of child support. You got a lot of kids.
Mhm. Yeah.
But, and like I said, the fact that we can say those things and joke because I know that we're not going to get off the camera and he's going to look at me and say, what you mean it would have been a lot of child support? It's not going to come back.
Yeah, I've seen the child support checks. I've seen jokers have to work, 60 hours and they jokers done told me, $700, $800, $900 a month. I'm trying to say, damn, how am I gonna live without $900
Right.
from my check? What the hell I'm gonna eat? So,
Right.
I just hey,
You and
that's
Beanie
that's that
Weenies
real
and
thought there. Look,
yeah,
I like ribeyes.
that's real though. It's very much real.
Mm.
So future goals and plans as
Before we do that, I want to
Yes,
go
sir.
back to
Mhm.
this important detail.
Mhm.
Now, when you guys met, you were teaching Jatoyia and Rashadd was working at Kroger.
Mhm.
Now we know in today's time, women look at that and be like, child, he work at Kroger. Leave that Negro alone. So how
I
did you
heard it.
guys,
Don't worry. I definitely heard it.
and I know you heard it. So how did you what was the transition from him working at Kroger to now he's doing it, what you say, HVAC technician
HVAC.
now?
Mhm.
What was that transition like and how did that come about?
Well, I'm a planner. So when he started saying we getting married and everything, I said, okay, what's forever about to look like? Because it ain't gonna be Kroger. So we started kind of researching everything and he decided HVAC. He looked into it. He knew he wanted to be doing something with his hands.
Yeah, I
Like
didn't
Yes.
sit at no desk.
so I was just like, I don't care what, but you got to
Mhm.
come up with something. So that's what he came up with. And I was like, okay, cool. So our first couple of years, I taught and he went to school. And so we upgraded from Kroger to Publix.
All right. All
And
right.
while he was at Publix, he would go to school for HVAC. And we had just had RJ. And so it was kind of like also beneficial because he helped with keeping RJ during the day while I was at work.
Right.
So it's kind of like we didn't have to pay that much for daycare at first
Mhm.
because he could stay home with the baby.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And once he graduated, it was like, okay, what's the plan? So
I actually got Kool-Aid before I even finished graduating.
yeah, because at first you were doing
A
like,
small mom and pop little company.
yeah, as like an internship. But
Mhm.
once he realized he was going to be with Cool Ray, we started there. And then the whole thing was going from a helper to a lead where he had
Yeah.
like his own truck.
Right. Right.
And for that was like we had to get tools because he had to have it. So it was just kind of like we just always planning on what's the next step. And so now that he lead good now, we're looking at for me doing my business with bariatric paths. And the goal is once that's set up, he'll start his business with HVAC because by then he'll have enough experience under his belt. So we just plan. But it's
Yeah.
like that was one of the things that made me fall in love with him was because like he didn't see it as just me telling him what to do, or
Yes.
and he also didn't just say yes just to say yes for the conversation to be over with. Like I knew if he agreed, like this is what we were going to do, and I could trust that he was going to do his part, and I needed to do my part for it to work. So it was
Right.
never kind of like the conversations were actually meaningful
Yeah.
to make as plans, not just people
Yes.
talking. Because
Yes.
people will
Right.
talk, and they'll just be like, yeah, let's do that," and then
Don't do nothing.
nothing happens.
Didn't
Be like,
happen,
we
right?
had this whole conversation, 1, 2, 3. So that was one of the things that I agree. Like when we first had the discussions and we talked about him going to school, and within a couple of days he came back with the schools and the applications. I was like, oh, like we following through. I don't have to
Okay.
like
Okay.
go after you. Be like, have you done this? Like, so I kind of appreciated that. Like he trusted the vision, but it's also like he put in the
Put the
work
work
too,
in. Yeah.
Right.
not just kind of.
And that's
Baby.
what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
I love that because you don't get a lot of that now. You have people who want they want a partner who is already formed. I don't know
Yeah.
what else to
Finish line
say.
already.
Yeah.
Right. Like they're at the finish line, and then
Yeah.
sometimes the person wants that and they're not there, but we're not gonna go
They
down
just
there.
want to.
But you come together and you build, like you said, you have a plan in place, and
They just want to walk into the mansion. They don't want to help build a mansion. It's
right,
kind of crazy, but that's.
right.
But that was beautiful when y'all told us your story. I wanted to definitely highlight that because sometimes as men we just need direction. Sometimes it's not necessarily he's lazy. It wasn't that he wasn't capable. Sometimes you just need direction and you need somebody to help point you in the direction and also encourage you at the same time. So that's
And
fantastic.
nothing made me happier when I had left education and I was without a job for what, 3, 4 months?
Yeah.
And my baby
Mm.
held it down.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
I had bills were paid. We didn't have
that's
there's
right.
no mortgage payments, and he let me take my time to find something else. But
Mhm.
and that's when I was like, okay, I don't want to do education anymore. He's like, okay, well, let's figure out. Like he didn't like, well, you going back to work? Like
Yeah.
Right.
from Kroger, woohoo! You done graduated. God is good.
That's
And now
right.
you
That's what I'm talking
make
about.
money.
Look, same. And that's the thing. People get focused on the wrong thing, I think.
Look,
And
we met. I was making $6.25 an hour at a office. It was a call center, and I was like the office supply person. And every since I started working, it was like I got to go here because they pay more money. I got to find this place. I hear something, they pay more money, I'm going. You know what I'm saying? So that's just always been my drive. So it's like, well, you know, and sometimes it's that drive, just having that drive, and we need direction.
Mm-hmm.
that's when I was pregnant with my daughter, and we had decided that I was gonna quit my job because I was working as a social worker for therapeutic foster children.
Yeah.
And they were starting a new program, and they had hired a woman specifically for that program who was disabled, and she said she was afraid to work with the kids. So they told me at what 6 months
6 months
pregnant,
pregnant. Yep.
well, you're just gonna have to start that program. So you want me to work full time my job, part time her job with kids that she says she's afraid of. I'm afraid of them too. So I talked to him, and he was like, well, just leave. I think we were planning on me coming home after I had her.
Yeah.
Anyways. And so he said, go ahead and resign now, because he was working through a temp agency and they had said they were going to hire him on through the company. And so that first day that I was off after I had resigned, I'm laying in bed. He had worked that night. I wake up to him. He's bending down, looking in my face, and he wakes me up. He said, baby. I said, hmm? He said, guess what? I just got laid off.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Bitch. I get one full day.
Yeah.
But and I don't know which is worse. He had worked all night and they told him that morning, But he had a coworker, a friend, who
Called me about an hour later. Yep.
and when he got there, they pulled him off the
Hey.
job, lay him off.
Say, hey, man, they got me too.
He didn't
So-
even get through a shift.
Right. So they brought a company out, the company that he works for now, for them to apply, but it took about 2.5, 3 weeks before you started, and then of course after he started there, it's gonna take 2.5, 3 weeks before a paycheck comes. In that time, this man took a bucket with a sponge, a hose, and dish liquid and drove around the office buildings washing cars. He cut grass. He did whatever he had to do to bring home money to make sure that me and my son ate. And I will never look down on him or not respect that he did that for us. And I don't know that a lot of people would have stayed and saw the good in that. But I appreciated that in him. And like you said, we're a team, we work together. And I went back to school after that.
Yeah.
And that's when I started in education. Oh, that's when I started.
I tell my girlfriend this because she thinks, I don't know why, but she like our finances are that ours. Like
Right.
all the checks come together. It ain't his money, my money.
Yes.
We got
Right.
bills. If I want something, can I get it? I don't care, get it.
Right.
Like it's, but I feel like it's easier to have that mentality because we work together. So it's kind of like we both put in the work. We've both done, you know, the planning, and he trusts me to pay the bills. He has school at like, it just makes everything a lot easier when we're all on the same page. I don't have time to be nickel and diming.
Right.
Yeah.
And of course people do what works for them. And that's one thing that we advocate. Do what works for you as a couple. I just feel like for us, when it came to money, there's a level of transparency when you combine your finances. And there's a level of transparency that leads to trust. I have to trust him in order to know that my check is going somewhere where he has access to, and vice versa. He has to trust me. And it also, it's ours. It's ours. When I wasn't working, I didn't have anything to put into that. So I didn't have a choice except to think of his as ours. And it just blows my mind when I hear married people talk about borrowing from each other.
Yeah. Borrow some money from my husband. Or I hear the guy be like, I had to put some money in my screw off account. I'm like, screw off account? What
right. No.
do with that? Oh, that's just money. That way I buy something, she don't know nothing about it. And I'm like, that's kind of crazy to me, but you know.
Right. So
only thing he does is he has a cash app for presents. So when he buys something, he don't want me to know what he got. He'll just move the money so I don't see the receipt.
But that's been the only thing we try to maneuver money around for things like that. So that when we buy each other gifts. But I know for me, if he had a whole nother account that I didn't have access to, it would eat me up. What you buying? Who you buying stuff for? Why can't I see? I mean, it would get to me. So in order to not have those issues, we have our combined account. And
that's just, I remember when I was a kid, my dad used to write me checks for like, you know, school or whatever. I just remember seeing my mom and dad's name on the check. That's just where I've always thought about it. I never thought differently. And I understand, you know, some people have certain circumstances, you know, might have been through a divorce and you may not be able to merge finances, but, you know, at least 70% of the money needs to go to, you know, that joint account or whatever. But, you know, that's just my idea.
Anyway. I just feel like if you got enough money to have extra money, something in the house ain't getting taken care of. Like,
yeah.
Or we could be using extra money to do something in the house. Like, what you need that much money for? You ain't doing nothing.
I'm telling you.
Fine, I don't need to know you buy. So that's where my mind will go.
Kids or like it could go something. The house needs something. The house always needs something.
Right. And that's when you go into it understanding you are building together. You're a team, you're working together. Like anything that I do is going to affect him. Anything good that I do is going to affect him. If I do something bad, it's going to affect him. And once we start to move and operate understanding that, I think it helps. It helps us get closer. It helps us learn to be better communicators. There are times when it's, especially with money, that it's uncomfortable and it's difficult. But if I know that my choices are going to impact our household, then I definitely need to discuss those things with him first.
Yeah.
We have a threshold. What is it? $50?
What?
I can't spend without talking to you. I think it's 50.
No, it was 100.
Oh, 100.
She don't even know.
Because I'll just like, hey, babe, I'm getting a purse. And he'll be like, I don't care. Go. Like, he really doesn't care, but I still just, like you said, that transparency, I'll tell him.
Yeah.
But I think we did make, like, it was a threshold. Like, if it's more than this, then we both need to be okay with
In
it.
agreement. Yeah, that's good.
Right.
That's good.
But I mean, that's just like for side stuff. He aren't like kids, household, that's kind of stuff. He just like, if it needed, get it done. Because he trusts that, like, we need a stove. We need a stove.
That's usually how I am. Like, you know, and I'm purposely like, if it's something I want, and I have motorcycling is my other hobby. So I've always for the last 20 plus years, that's been my side chick, my motorcycle.
Yep.
But there's items I want to purchase for it. And I might, just be like, well, baby, I want to get this. It's gonna cost this amount. I'm gonna let her know that I'm putting away for it. Or if I happen to work a lot of overtime, I'll let them, I'm gonna buy this part right now. But I mean, I don't need nothing else. Shoot.
That's his video game.
Yeah,
He like
big
that.
gamer.
He's a gamer, so you like.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and he led you into explaining the future path or future plans, which include bariatric pathways.
Yes.
So if you would tell us a little bit about bariatric pathways and your future goals.
So in October of 2023, I had bariatric surgery. I had the gastric bypass, and I lost 170 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome.
So during that journey, though, he was like my biggest supporter, my ride or die, very, very like love him to death for all of it. Cause even the fact that he loved me when I was that big, I was just like, I still don't know how he did it, but he did. But but one thing I noticed though is like he's not a bariatric patient. So certain things I would be struggling with and he'll try, but he just didn't quite get it. And so I realized like there isn't a community out there that's just like bariatric patients saying, hey, this is what I'm going through. Like,
yes,
like I feel this too, or I'm struggling with this too. Like, I wish I could drink out of a straw. He didn't understand my fascination with straws. I'm just like, dude, I need a straw. He just like, drink out a straw, but doctor said I can't. Like, it was, so those are the type of things that he didn't quite get, that I knew like if I was going to make this a lifelong lifestyle change, I would need a community. So Bariatric Paths is a community that I started. It's a podcast where we have different guests come and share their weight loss journey. And it's for any weight loss journey. So we do surgery and non-surgical guests. And then the goal is to eventually start doing like meetup events so that we could come together and kind of just have that community and that support of people who get it. Because you don't get it unless you really been through it.
Right.
Yeah.
The surgery and stuff. So that's what we're working on now. And then the goal is hopefully within the next 3 or 4 years, Bariatric Paths will be set up, do what it needs to do, and then he'll start his HVAC company.
Awesome.
Still doing that? You still doing
that? That's beautiful.
I feel like he's gonna get tired because it's such a physical job. I'm just like, there's no way you're gonna want to do this.
See, the thing is, I can pick and choose the jobs I do. I can make sure I pick the easy ones.
Oh,
Yep.
Right. And I know you stay busy during the summers.
Oh yeah.
yes.
She's a single mom in the summertime.
Oh yeah, basically. And that's
Yeah.
like that was very tough for us too, because that's summers when we have Alyssa. So I
Right.
also have to be like mindful, like you also need to make sure you're home to spend time with her
Right.
at work.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
summers gets it's a lot of what am I trying to say? Or we got to plan it and move
Yeah.
around different
Right.
parts and
Right.
sure we still do a vacation, but he absolutely hates having to leave in the during.
I
I'm just like,
imagine.
you gotta take a week off, get over it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I know well, I don't want to say I know, but I have a friend of mine. He's been working on our system for the last 10 years, and he's on his own. And and the demand is great, but
Mhm.
he sets his own hours. He enjoys it. So it'll actually allow him a lot more freedom. And then especially once he gets someone,
Mm.
a system and that knows what they're doing. He'll be home more than you think.
Yeah, just hire maybe 4 guys. That's it.
There you go.
Then you won't need to go out at all. You just let them.
Yeah, let
Everybody
them
already
have.
broken down as it is already.
That's
There you
yeah.
go.
My dad was a brick mason, and when he retired, it's like I think that as long as he was working and moving, he could ignore some of the pain. But
Yeah.
he's struggled a lot now since he retired because of
Mhm.
all the on his knees laying
Yeah.
bricks and things like that.
Mhm.
So
That's what I'm worried about because I
you-
want to retire and have fun. I
right.
got to be able to move. We going on trips.
Right.
You're gonna be that broke up. You'll be all right.
Like you said, few years he'll have his stuff set up.
Yep.
4 people working for him,
The
and
next thing you know, only thing you're doing is getting in the truck, going to check on.
Yeah.
You got to check on them jokers, make sure they're doing what they're supposed to do. Sometimes
Yeah.
all you gotta do is just ride by there. That's the way.
I think though, family wise, our future goal is to get land. We want like a family compound because our oldest is about to be 13. So I said, I want by the time he graduates, we gonna put a little tiny home in our yard.
Yeah.
And he gonna go out there until he's ready to like leave. I don't want them worried about getting an apartment and stuff at 18. So our goal is we have a house, but we want to buy land. And that way we have the house on the land and 3 or 4 tiny homes because we know in-laws. Mama both of them gonna want to come back eventually. So we're gonna give them a tiny home too. You can
There
go
you
out
go.
in the yard.
Yeah.
Boy, y'all house. Don't be
Yes.
hanging out here.
Right.
I'll invite you to come
before
eat.
you come by.
Right.
Y'all.
Right. Your company. Your company. Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Oh, and before we go, so there's no plans anymore, little ones.
She opened with that.
Baby, what happened before I got my surgery?
Oh, I got a vasectomy.
Yes. I was like, I'm not losing weight to have an oopsie baby. So
Look,
you got taken care of, and then I got taken care of.
yes.
There you go. There you go. Double
And
dip tuck.
we have 2 birth children, 2 adopted children. I told my children, I'm not raising other people's kids either anymore. I'm done with that too. So make sure if you pull that trigger, make sure you're ready.
Yep.
Because I'm not gonna be that type of nana. I'm not. I'm gonna be a day visit nana.
See you on the
So-
holidays.
We want to end with if you had one piece of advice to give married couples that would help to divorce proof their marriage, to strengthen their connection, what would that one piece of advice be?
Communication. Communication is the key.
Yes.
Learn how to talk to each other, compromise.
Yes.
I gotta think. No, I'm just joking. Well, I'm thinking of like for wives out there, they say be his peace. You need to learn what that means.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
absolutely.
To understand how to be his peace.
Yes.
I think that's key. That's
Yes.
key. You got like everybody's peace ain't the same.
Right.
But so learn your man's peace and learn how you can be his peace.
Yeah.
Love it.
Some people don't even know what peace is.
Right. That's a whole nother episode. That's a whole nother episode.
Yep. Well, we have thoroughly enjoyed you guys, and
It
thank
was
you for
fun.
sharing your story, the
Yeah.
beautiful love story. Man, when we had that meet and greet, I was just tell you, I was looking forward to this one here because I was like, man, that's Rashad, you was me, buddy. You was me, man. I just need a little guidance. Got with the right woman. Now you could have been out there, still them little scallywags. They wouldn't have helped you with nothing. They wouldn't have helped you figure out nothing. Where your money at?
And he's one of those people like he loves being married. I hear him all the time talking about, yeah, y'all just need to go ahead and find you a wife. I'm like, Lord, his goal is to make everybody married.
I want to go to a wedding.
Yeah.
I feel you. Man, I be telling the jokers all the time, man. Look, you find you the right woman, bro. You gotta worry about being out there. And it's peace. What?
Yep.
I don't see how they do it. And I got single friends. I'm just look at them like, okay, bro. All right. Go on to my wife.
That was good.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was fantastic. I really enjoyed that.
I knew that we were going to enjoy our conversation, but we really we enjoyed it. We learned some things.
Yeah.
They reinforced some of our thought process. And
Yeah.
it was a good interview.
Yeah, it was. And
What was your favorite takeaway?
my favorite takeaway was how when they met, he was working at Kroger. And it wasn't about the money to her. It was about his personality and his potential.
Yes.
And when they got together, trying to figure things out, they made a plan, found something for him to do, and he wanted to do HVAC. He got into that, and they just worked that plan together.
Right.
And, that in their homeowners within the first, 10 years of their marriage. You know what I'm saying?
I think too it's important to point out that because like me and the idea of potential, I don't necessarily believe in being with someone for the potential they have.
Right.
And I think that it's important to note that when she talked about his potential, she wasn't talking about him as a person. It was more so just that where they were in life.
Yeah.
It wasn't that he didn't want to have more or do more.
Yeah.
It was needing someone to help him
Needing
figure out the
that
direction
guidance.
and
Yeah.
right. And so when we talk about admiring that because she saw the potential in him, it wasn't like he was sitting at home doing nothing.
Right.
And she
He
was
was
saying
working.
there's potential. So I just want to point that out because I'm just a firm believer that when you meet people, they show you who they are, and you need to believe it. And there's not enough potential in the world to change someone from a horrible human
That's
into
true.
a decent human unless that person sees that themselves and decide to make that change.
Yeah.
So, and that's not at all the case with them. They came to, they were young, just like we were young.
Yeah.
I couldn't not want you because of where you were in life. Because if I looked in the mirror, where was I?
Where was I? I was.
So
that was so. Thank you for holding on to my potential stuff. Another thing that stuck out was the weight loss. Oh my God!
right.
175 pounds. Jatoyia, you did your thing, girl. You look good. I tell you.
And then took that journey and her need from that journey
Yes.
and created a platform, and that's how, like you said, that's how we met. So if you are someone who is on a weight loss journey, make sure to check out Bariatric Paths
Yes.
podcast,
Yes.
so that you can have that community there and have those resources.
Yeah.
One thing that stood out to me was when Jatoyia said our marriage and how they
Yeah.
had to learn that everyone couldn't have their input in their marriage. And
Yeah.
that's something that we had to learn also.
The focus on therapy was something that was just like, oh my gosh, they got that like within the first few years.
Right.
You know what I
And
mean?
realize
Yeah.
that we need to do something.
The
And
need for
instead
it.
of, just calling it quits, they went and found the resource they needed and the tools that they needed.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I think that's it.
So until next time.
We will holler at y'all.